What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It is White Gamer. Today we have the fullback build for level 25, level 50, level 75, and level 90. We're going to be using the Marauder archetype for all these levels. We're starting off with level 25. Your height, go with 6 foot. You definitely want to have some height as a fullback, guys. Don't be using a 5'8", 5'7" fullback. That is too small. Sometimes you're going to be coming up against teams that like to just cross or play the ball in the air quite a bit. So go with some height. Weight to go with 160 pounds. Make sure you go with the height and weight combination that gives you the -2 balance and the +2 sprint speed. At level 25, you're only going to have 511 attribute points, which isn't a lot. So your agility, get that to 75. That's just going to improve a little bit. Not only when you're turning directions with the ball, but it will help you jockey just a little bit. Reactions, we're going to get that to 80. This is going to make your pro just a little bit more responsive. 80 attributes is nothing crazy, but keep in mind you're only level 25. So as you keep moving up, definitely get that agility reaction a bit up. Now, for the pace, we're going to go with 83 acceleration and 85 sprint speed. You want to be fast as a fullback, and as you keep moving up, definitely want to focus on some pace, especially if you just got the game. You want to be able to catch up against those fast attackers. Keep in mind your sprint speed in game will actually be 87 because of that +2 from the body. Now, for the jumping, we are going to go with 76 jumping. This is just going to help out a bit, especially I think the base jumping is like 60. So this is going to be good. We are going to go with the aerial fortress, which is going to help you jump a bit higher on your half of the pitch. Strength, go with 75. Aggression, go with 80. We are going to go with the regular bruiser. That's going to help you bully off opponents off the ball easily. So that's why we want some aggression and strength. Then from the defending guys, get your standing tackle to 80. This will give you some of the animations, not all of them at 85. That's when you'll get all the standing tackle animations, but the 80 will do more than the job. Defensive awareness, get that to 80. That's going to help you jockey. We will have the jockey playstyle. Heading accuracy, the only reason we're going with 75 is so you can get the aerial fortress, which will allow you to jump higher. And then last but not least, get your interceptions to 74. We're not going to put nothing on passing right now, guys. Don't worry about the passing. You can start worrying about the passing once you get to like the level 40, 50s. But right now, we got to focus on pace and defending because at the end of the day, you are a fullback. And then I think at level 30, you get the whip pass plus or the quick step. I don't remember. But you do have the regular quick step, which is good. That's going to help you accelerate quicker. Now, for your playstyles, guys, we are going to go with the bruiser. That is definitely a must. This is going to help you bully off opponents much more easier. And at level 50, we are going to go with the bruiser plus, which is really good. But for now, bruiser, the regular one, will do the job. Your second one, we're going to go with jockey. This is going to just help your pro be way more responsive when you press an LT or L2 just to jockey, when you're going from jogging to jockey or vice versa. And then for your third one, we are going to go with aerial fortress. This will allow for your pro to jump much higher on your half of the pitch, which is really useful in case you, well, if you're going for a header or whatever it is when it comes to an aerial battle, you want to have some aerial presence. So these are the playstyles and attributes that we went for level 25 fullback build. Now we have level 50 fullback build. Again, we're using the Marauder. Height, go with 6 foot. You definitely want to have some height as a fullback. Ladies and gentlemen, weight, go with 160 pounds. Make sure you go with the height and weight combination that gives you the -2 balance and the +2 sprint speed. At level 50, you're going to have 1,269 points, which is much better than when you're at level 25. So your agility, we're going to get that to 80. That's going to help you with the jockey as well. And when you're turning directions with the ball, balance, get that to 80. This is going to help you protect and shield the ball. Also, when you're dribbling with the ball, that's going to keep your pro grounded as you're pushing up with the ball. Reactions, we're going to get that to 84. The main reason we went with reactions so high compared to the rest of the attributes, guys, is because this is going to help your pro be way more responsive. And this also helps out with interceptions when the ball is nearby. Your pro will be a little bit quicker to react to the ball. Composure, we're going to go with 75. This is all right. This is just going to help a bit when you're under pressure and you're giving off a pass, or when you're receiving the ball and you're under pressure. So don't worry. The rest of the attributes will go up as you start moving up in the levels. Now, for the pace, go with 87 acceleration and 87 sprint speed. You want to be as fast as you can as a fullback, guys. You're level 50. Your pro is going to start feeling much faster once you're at this level. Keep in mind, your sprint speed will actually be 89 because of that +2. So your sprint speed will actually be 89 because of that body. Jumping. Want to go with some jumping, guys. Go with 85 jumping. If you're ever playing a team that's going to be crossing, even if they're not crossing, you want to have that aerial presence. We will have the aerial fortress as well. Your strength, we're going to go with 92 strength because we are going to go with the Bruiser Plus, which is one of the specialization. Aggression, 90. So you're going to be able to bully off opponents easily. Having the Bruiser Plus is a must as a fullback this year, guys. The weak foot, we're going to go with the 4-star weak foot. If you want, you can even keep the 3-star weak foot and go with the 3-star skill moves if you want, but we're not going to touch the skill move anytime soon, I think until like towards the end of the video. Then from the defending, we're going to go with 85 standing tackle. 85 will do more than the job. By 85, you'll have all the standing tackle animations. Defensive awareness, go with 90. We're going to need it in order to get the Bruiser Plus. And also the high defensive awareness helps your pro jockey much more efficiently. Heading accuracy, just get it to 75 just so we can get the aerial fortress. That is the only reason. Interceptions, we're going to go with 80. That should do the job. You will have 1 point left over. Just keep it until you get to the next level. Now, you will have the Athlete Specialization, which will give you the Bruiser Plus, guys. The Bruiser Plus is really, really, really good. Now, it all depends. If you're going to be crossing a lot, guys, if you're going to be crossing a lot, by a lot, I mean like 4, 5, 6, 7 times a game as a fullback, then keep the whip pass and remove the tech. But if you're not really going to be crossing, guys, take out the whip pass plus, because the tech plus is really good to dribble with as a fullback and as you're pushing up. So I'd recommend having these 3 combination as your playstyle plus, and then you can just go with the regular whip pass, all up to you. But Bruiser Plus is a must. You're going to be able to bully off and get opponents off the ball easily. Tech Plus is really, really good, but I don't think you get a Tech Plus until level 75. So you're just going to have the regular version, which is still will do the job. And then, of course, by level 50, you will have the Quick Stat Plus, which will allow for you to accelerate quicker. At level 50, you're only going to have 4 regular play styles. So we're going to go with the Aerial Fortress, guys. This is going to allow for your pro to jump higher on your half of the pitch. Second, we're going to go with Jockey. You're going to need it, guys. When you're going from jogging to jockey, it is just much quicker. And just when you're jockeying in general, it feels much better. For your third one, we're going to go with Intercept. This is going to increase that reach and help your pro trap the ball if it's nearby or passing by. And then last but not least, we're going to go with Anticipate. This is going to increase those standing tackles, and they're going to just come out much, much better. And I do want to mention, as you start moving up now that you're level 50, start focusing on your passing now that you're getting closer to the higher levels. But boys and girls, these are the play styles and attributes that we went for the level 50 fullback build. Now we have level 75 fullback. Height, go at 6 foot. This is perfect. You're not too small. You're not too tall. You're going to be winning aerial battles as well. I wouldn't go any smaller than like 5'11", to be honest. Weight, to go with 160 pounds. Make sure you go with the height and weight combination that gives you the -2 balance and the +2 sprint speed. At level 75, you're going to have 2,044 points, which is a lot. Agility, get that to 85. That's going to help you with the jockey as well. And also when you're turning directions with the ball, 85 is good, especially for a defender. Balance, we're going to go with 85. That's going to help you when you're dribbling with the ball. Also, when you need to protect and shield the ball, the balance plays a role in that. Reaction, get that to 90. The main reason reaction is the highest attribute from the ball control section is because reaction is very important for the overall responsiveness of your build. So that's why we went with 90 reactions. Also, the high reactions allows for your pro to react quicker when the ball is nearby, and you can make that interception much faster. Ball control, we're going to go with 85. This is going to be very useful for when you're making interceptions and you need to trap the ball. Also, when you're receiving the ball, it makes it much easier for your pro to trap the ball. Dribbling, we went with 80. That's going to determine how close the ball stays to your feet when you're sprinting or running with the ball. Composure, we're going to go with 82. This is going to allow for your pro to give off some good enough passes while you're under pressure. Also, when you're receiving the ball and you're under pressure, your pro can control it much better since you have some decent composure. Now, for the pace, which is one of the most important things as a fullback, you want to go with 90 acceleration and 90 sprint speed. Your in-game will be 92 sprint speed because of that +2 from the body. You want to be as fast as you can. So that's why once we get to the next main level, we're going to max out the pace eventually. From the jumping, or for the jumping, go with 85 jumping. You want to have that aerial ability, you know, so you can mark people on corner kicks. If you're ever playing against a team that likes to cross far posts, you want to have that jumping secured. So you're 6 foot, you have 85 jumping, and you have aerial fortress, which is really good. Then for the strength, go with 92 strength and 90 aggression. We are going to be going with the Bruiser Plus, which is a must as a fullback. You're going to be able to bully off opponents easily off the ball with that high strength and aggression. Also, I do want to mention aggression does play a role when you're going up for contested headers as well, so keep that in mind. And no, guys, we're not going with stamina. You don't need stamina. I see people spending points on stamina. You don't need stamina. This year, there's unlimited stamina. Wouldn't recommend going with stamina. And then we are going to go with the 4-star weak foot at least, guys, because this is going to just make it much better for when you're passing. You don't have to worry about putting it on your preferred foot, so you can just do that switch or that long ball. Now, from the passing, we are going to be going with some passing now. We're going to go with 80 curve. I think we need it for the incisive pass, so that's why we went with that. And then 85 long pass and 80 short pass. So whether you're doing a simple short distance pass or a long one or a switch in the air, you should be covered. You have decent enough vision. The vision will go higher in the next main level, so don't worry about that. But the vision does play a role in sending those through balls or just any type of long pass in general, whether it's on the ground or in the air. Interceptions, we're going to go with 85. That's going to increase your range for your pro to, trap the ball. Heading accuracy, we're only going to go with 75 so you can get the aerial fortress. Defensive awareness, get that to 90 where you need it for 2 reasons. So your pro can be really effectiveness when you're jockeying, and so we can get the bruiser plus. Last but not least, get your standing tackle to 85. This will do more than the job. This will give you all the standing tackle animations as well. And like I've been saying, you will have the athlete specialization, which will give you the bruiser plus. Bruiser plus is really good, and it is a must. Now, which one are you going to replace? You're always going to keep the quick stat plus, guys. Never, quick stat plus is also a must. So it kind of depends. If you're going to be crossing a lot as a fullback, like more than 5-6 times a game, then keep the whip pass and replace the tech plus. If you're not really going to cross, guys, then take out the whip pass plus. So tech plus is really good. And at level 75, you will have the tech plus. The tech plus will put your pro into control sprint, which makes it easier to dribble with. All you got to do is press RB or R1 and it will activate it. So you kind of do want to keep the tech plus, guys, because it makes it easier to when you're pushing up and dribble against. And then, of course, quick step plus allows for your pro to accelerate quicker. Now, you will have 6 regular play styles. So we're going to go with aerial fortress. I think that this is definitely a must. So your pro can just jump higher on your half of the pitch. Second, we're going to go with jockey. So when we're going from jogging to jockey, it's way more responsive, or vice versa. Third, we are going to go with intercept, which is going to help you trap the ball, increase that reach. For your fourth one, we are going to go with, where is it at? Anticipate. This is going to make those standing tackles just much more accurate. And then for your last 2, definitely go with some passing one, guys. The pink pass is really good. To activate this, all you need to do is press RBA or R1 and X. The ball travels much faster on the ground. And then for your second one, I would recommend going with incisive pass. This is going to allow for those long passes on the ground to be much accurate and more precise. But boys and girls, these are the play styles and attributes that we went for level 75 fullback build. Now we have the level 90 fullback build heights. Go with 6 foot, guys. This is the height that I use, especially when there's restrictions at fullback. You can go taller if you want. But yeah, at least 6 foot, guys. I wouldn't recommend playing 5'10", 5'9". That's too small. You're going to get dunked on by a taller attacker. Weight to go with 160 pounds. Make sure you go with the height and weight combination that gives you the +2 sprint speed and the -2 balance. So at level 90, you're going to have 2,630 points, which is a lot. Agility, get that to the high 80s, 87 agility. That's going to help your pro when you're jockeying. Also, when you're turning directions with the ball. Balance, we're going to go with 85. The balance will help your pro be stable when you're dribbling. And also the balance will help you protect the ball whenever you need to shield the ball. Reactions, we got that to 90. That's the highest one from the ball control section because that's going to help your pro be way more responsive overall. So that's why we have it at 90. And the reaction does help your pro intercept the ball much quicker, especially if it's nearby, because you can react quicker to it. Your pro can react quicker to it. And then the ball control, dribbling, and composure, get those 3 attributes to 85. That's going to be more than enough for your pro to trap the ball when you receive the ball or when you make an interception. The 85 dribbling will keep that ball close to your feet when you're pushing up. Remember, you will have tech plus, so the dribbling on this build is going to be already good for a fullback. And then the composure, it's going to allow for your pro to give off good passes while you're under pressure or when you're receiving the ball as well. When you're receiving the ball, composure does play a role. Now, for the pace, we're going to max it out. You want to be as fast as you can, especially this late into the year. You're level 90. You're going to be coming up against attackers that have their pace maxed out. So we're going to go with 92 acceleration and 95 sprint speed. Remember, in game will be 97 sprint speed because of that +2 from the body. So make sure you're fast as you can as a fullback. Now, for the physical, go with 90 jumping. You want to have some aerial presence, guys. You really, really do. Not just for the crosses, in case you come up against a team for the crosses, not just because of that, but when you're marking corner kicks or when you're getting locked onto an aerial battle, you'll be covered. You'll have high jumping, good enough heights, and you're going to have the aerial fortress. Their strength, go at 92 strength and 90 aggression, because we are going to go with the athlete specialization, which will give you the bruiser plus. The bruiser plus is a must, so you're going to be a strong fullback. You're going to be able to bully off wingers or attackers off the ball. We're not going with stamina, guys. When I play fullback, I use no stamina and I have no issues. You don't need the stamina. It is a waste this year because the stamina bar doesn't go down at all. If you want to waste points, you're more than welcome to, but we don't add stamina in none of the builds because you already have the quick stat plus as well. The weak foot, I would definitely recommend going with the 5-star weak foot, so you have the ability of passing it with either of your foot and you know it's going to be a good pass. Now, the skill move, we went with the 3-star skill moves. Normally when I play fullback, I use a 2-star skill move. I'm not skilling as a fullback. I make the tackle or interceptions and look for the pass. I'm not trying to beat my opponent on skill move. If that's your mindset, maybe you should be playing fullback. Maybe you should be playing winger. But yeah, 3-star just for those that want to do a simple roulette and whatnot. Now, from the passing, we are going to go with 80 curve. We're going to need it in order to get the incisive pass. And then from the passing, the long pass, we're going to go with 90. And the short pass, we're going to go with 85. Now, the long pass is very good as a fullback, especially when you have the long ball pass, guys. It is very good to do those switches to the opposite side of the pitch because 95% of the time, that switch is open. So we are going to go with the long ball pass. Crossing, we went with 81. If you're that type of fullback that likes to cross, I personally don't cross, so on my actual fullback build, I use a boss. I don't have crossing. And then we went with the high vision because that is important to find your teammates in the air when you do an X, if you're on Xbox, or square ball if you're on PlayStation. So the vision does play a role in making those long passes in the air much more accurate. Also, those through balls with wire triangle, much accurate when you have higher vision. Interceptions, 85 will do the job. When it comes to interceptions, it's all about how well you're positioning yourself and reading the passing lane. You will have the intercept play style. So if you're nearby the ball, your approach should be making the interception because we also have that high reaction. Heading accuracy, we're going to go with 75 heading accuracy just so we can get the aerial fortress. That is the only reason why. That's it. Defensive awareness, get that to 90. We're going to need it in order to get the bruiser plus. And it's good to have high defensive awareness because this helps you with your jockey speed. And it makes it much more effective, the jockey. Standing tackle, 85 will do the job. I think I have, 85 or 87 standing tackle on my actual fullback build. And no, we're not going with slide tackle, guys. The slide tackle is good. This is already good as it is this year. You don't need to put points on that. And like I've been saying, you will get the bruiser plus. The bruiser plus is a must on a fullback, guys. It's so overpowered. You can bully off opponents easily. Now, which one are you going to replace? It all depends. Now, if you're going to be crossing a lot, when I mean a lot, I mean like 5 or 6 more times a game, then you can keep the whip pass and remove the tech. But guys, honestly, even if you are going to cross a lot, I would just go with the regular whip pass because the tech plus is really good. And I know some of you guys are going to be pushing up as a fullback when you have the ball. When you press RB or R1, your pro goes into control sprint, which makes the dribbling much better. And you can get and beat opponents when you have the ball. So I would definitely recommend having these 3 as your plus version. And like I said, even if you do like to cross, just go with the regular whip, guys. Quick step plus is definitely a must because that's going to allow you to accelerate quicker. Now, for your play styles, we're going to go with aerial fortress. Your jumps will come out much higher on your half of the pitch. So when it comes to any aerial battles, you should be winning them, most of them, as long as you know how to time your jumps and you're getting in front of your opponents. Second, we're going to go with jockey. This is going to increase that max speed of sprint jockey. Sprint jockey is left trigger and right trigger, or L2 and R2 on PlayStation. Also, when you're like switching between those buttons, that also activates it. Your third one, go with intercept. That's going to increase that reach and help you trap the ball when you're making an interception. Fourth, we're going to go with anticipate because the standing tackles do come out much better and the ball isn't bouncing off of you that much. Then we're going to go with some passing play styles, guys. Now, I do recommend going with the long ball pass. I personally use a long ball pass. This is really good to switch it to the opposite side of the pitch. The switch is open 98% of the time that switch is open. You'll thank me later once you see that switch. It's really good. Or if you're doing a chip pass, any type of ball that you do in the air just travels faster and it'll reach your teammates much quicker. Next, we're going to go with a ping pass. When you press RBA or R1X, the ball travels much faster on the ground and you can start your attack much quicker. So I definitely recommend that. And then, guys, for your last two, it's going to depend on how you play. I'm assuming you're going to be pushing up with the ball as a fullback. So we're going to go with rapid. So when you're pushing up with the ball, your pro doesn't take those heavy touches or heavy knock-ons. And then for the last one, you can go with the incisive pass because this is going to allow for those Y balls or triangle balls to come out much better. And since you have high vision, high long pass, that's going to be good at that. Press proven is also good as well. But I would recommend going with the incisive pass, guys. So you have that ability to send through balls to your wingers or your attacker. But ladies and gentlemen, these are the playstyles and attributes that we went with the level 90 Marauder build. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Don't forget to drop a like, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys next time.